Hi, everybody. I guess you could call this a part two of what questions people ask me. I realized after I got through that and I watched it back how emotional that made me. And I had a list of questions, front and back, that I was going to answer for you. And I realized I only got through like three questions because by the time I told all the stories, I felt like, man, I could just write a book. And that's the beauty of being in the moment is um, you never know, being raw and natural and authentic, you never know what's going to come up and what kind of questions are going to trigger in your mind certain things. And so I wanted to do a part two. I know probably some of you may think this is boring, but then there are a percentage of you who actually find this interesting. So for all the ones that enjoyed that video and kind of found it interesting and learned some more about me, I'm going to do my best to get through this without crying. Me and Bella's down here going, girl, you need to take me for a WALK. And I'm telling you, I feel like because the months of February and the months of now March, we have had the most snow in record history. And if you know me, you know that I love to be outside in nature, swimming in my hot tub and getting some sunlight. And I do love my home, don't get me wrong, but I like to be able to go out when I need to go out and do things and just have that feeling of not being snowed in for the whole month, which pretty much it's been. But on the other hand, I am extremely fortunate to be able to work from home. And think about how you design your life. I designed my life like this. Many people out there probably um, I guess this is my conclusion I've come up with about myself is I feel like I am a weirdo because I do not know what the 9 to 5 is because I don't do that anymore. Take actually, I did that years ago, but as of now, I am so out of the world and out of the things. And so when I hear people say to me, "Wow, you're positive. You're a light. You're this." Well, and I guess that's because I have trained myself to be that way. It's not every day because of this weather, like I was telling you, but I have to remember that I am very fortunate and I do get to work from home and I don't have to go into the world and put up with the negative people and the horrible bosses that are mean to you. And I have created this lifestyle of being home and running my own show per se and being the director of my life. And so when you look at the whole picture of your life and you think about the things that have happened to you in your past, and that's why I wanted to do a part two, because I didn't want that video to be like, oh my God, pity me, pity me. No, 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 quite the opposite. I feel like when you do go through hard things in your life, um, for me, it has made me an even better person because I got to choose. I got to learn all those hard lessons and I got to go through all that hardship that I went through to become who I am today. And I feel like it has made me forever humble no matter how far I get in my life, no matter how much money I make, no matter how much I achieve. I will always remember where I came from, and I will always be that humble child inside. And many of you have said, "Oh, I like your childlikeness, your silliness. Um, you see certain things in me that obviously attract you to watch me here." And I really appreciate that because I know that I'm not for everybody. I realize that. I know that I could drive someone crazy with how I am. But I also know that there are a lot of hurting people out there and a lot of lonely people out there. And as I keep doing my research about, as we age and our aches and pains and things that we're going to have to endure, and husbands having their wife tell them no more sex, um, I'm not in love with you anymore, and vice versa, or trading their spouse in for a younger version to make themselves feel better, and going through midlife crises and all the things that we have to go through, and saving for retirement because people are living 18 years now past their retirement years. So they have that to think about as well. And I think about, because I am such an intellectual, I have this quirky side, don't get me wrong, and the things I do, and I act silly and, dumb and ditzy. But I think all of us have a side. We all have different sides. And I do have this intellectual side. This intellectual side, however, has not been the side that has been the most attractive on here. The the biggest views I get are, and all of my videos are orchestrated in thought, and um, even though they may not appear to be. And the videos, of course, the most views I get are the hot tubs, the pool, the bikini reviews, the the workouts, the maxi dresses, and that's pretty much what I'm known for. So we start our journey, and then we get known for, what we do, and that's how people see me to this day. They just see, oh, I want fashion shows, oh, I want workouts, oh, I want to see your butt, oh, I want to see your boobs, oh, I want to see. But I also wanted to come on here once in a while and show you an intellectual side as well, that there is so much more that goes behind. There's so much more with that. Um, but unfortunately, if I come on here like this all the time and say, oh, okay, I'm going to tell you about my thoughts, and we're going to get deep, obviously I wouldn't have the views or the people here that I do. So I feel like that's the great part of my channel, is that once in a while, when I'm going through things like this, the weather, the emotions, then I like to come on here once in a while to let you know that I'm real and human also, just like you. And, I think that that's important, to see the authenticity of another person. If you follow their story long enough, and you follow their journey long enough, to kind of get into who they are, or why they do the things they do, or whatever. But I also love to come on here and be silly and just show you my ass and show you my boobs in my swimsuits, and do all that, and fashion shows and all of that. I love that. And I feel like for me, it's something that you would not and that's why you're here. It's something that you would not expect a 48-year-old woman that her kids are raised to do. And that's the whole fun of YouTube, is that you get the shock treatment of, different personalities and different things you like, and you get to choose who you follow and what you like, and that's great. And I do the same thing. I mean, I watch YouTube. I think we all just now want to de-stress. We work all day, and then we need some kind of outlet. We need an outlet, to be able to let our hair down, and let somebody else entertain us. And that's what I love to do. I love to entertain. I love to do the quirky, fun things that I do. And so I wanted to come back here and say that there are so many questions I get asked in a day, and so many emails I get. And I can guarantee I read all of them, but I don't respond to all of them, because if you could only imagine the things I get asked and the kind of emails I get. And I appreciate, don't get me wrong, I appreciate the emails that you send me, but On the other hand, when I say, people say, well, what's your business? When I say it's a business email, business meaning reviews, if a company wants to reach out to me and collab with me, if another YouTuber wants to collab with me, um, if somebody wants to send me some clothes for a fashion show, a company, um, that kind of thing. Not because I'm here to meet up with you or um, can we meet? Can we go to lunch? I mean, could you imagine if I answered emails and I just started going and meeting and having lunch with different men? Could you imagine? I mean, I'm a married woman, and because of what I do, people get confused. They assume, oh, she must be a swinger. Oh, um, she must be having sex with other men. She must be wild and free, just like she says. And because she shows herself on Patreon, that she, that I have a chance with her. And as a friend, yes. As a lover, no. Um, I've been married to my husband for so long, and he's the only man I've been with for so long, and I love him. So people say, well, why don't your husband come on camera? Because he's a private man and he plans on staying private. Sometimes when you're on the internet and you're blasting your life on the internet, doesn't mean the people with you or around you want the same thing. And we all have the right, due to our personalities, to be private or be vocal. Or um, for years my sister was private. She's just now putting herself out there and making videos on Ketolicious, but it took her a lot of years to decide that she wanted to do that. It's not for everyone. Putting your life on the internet is not for everyone. And so my husband chooses to stay private. He does not like the camera at all. He feels uncomfortable. He does not like um, me telling the world about everything we're doing, all day long and this and that. He's very private. So for him, it's taken him some time to realize that this is my job, this is what I do. But just because I do it, I don't have to involve him. It's kind of like Dolly Parton's. Dolly Parton's travels all over the world, and um, she's does her own thing. She runs her own business. She's been married for years, but her husband chooses to stay behind the scenes. He doesn't want cameras. He doesn't want pictures. He doesn't want any of that. And that's his choice. And that's the way my husband is. My husband chooses to stay behind the camera and doesn't want any part of that. And that's great. No problem. But it doesn't mean that we are unhappy or that we're not, in a healthy relationship, or we're not in love with each other. It just means that I choose to keep him out because that's what he wants. So I'm a one woman machine anyway. I love to film by myself. I'm creative, so I'm constantly thinking of crazy ideas. And so I just choose to do it by myself. When my kids come over, they're the same way. They don't like to be blasted on the camera or video either. And so I cherish those times with my family. Um, and because they are so private, I cherish that and allow them that space. And so when I have family time, I have family time. I don't turn on the camera. And there are some families that can do that. They can do the vlogging and follow everybody around and do all that. But my family is just not that way. They're very private. They're very like, ugh. They get uncomfortable with the camera and they don't like it. Why I chose to do this, I don't know. But I did, and my whole goal was just to create an income at home so that I could be at home, so that I wouldn't have to drive school bus anymore, so I wouldn't have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and take kids to school and then come home and try to film videos. I was talking to my sister today about that, and how in the beginning stages I had to work part-time do this, and then I'd get frustrated because I'd want to post a video and it wouldn't upload, and then I'd have to turn around, go pick up kids, and then come back home and then try to figure out where I was left off. And anyway, so I created this life. I created this life to be able to be at home and work from home and create my own hours. But I didn't create it. I did it for myself. That doesn't mean I have to put anybody else in it unless they want to be. Now, luckily, my sister and I talked this morning, and she's going to come visit, and we've agreed to film each other. You know, she's getting comfortable behind the camera, and so I'm going to be her videographer and vice versa when she comes over and when I go over there. And then as we go along, we'll probably film together. And, you know, I've wanted to do that for so long. When we went to the ocean together, we played cards, and she'd never let me put her on the camera. In fact, the very first thing she would say is, don't put me on the camera. Don't even, you know, she'd just be like, okay. But now that she's open and free and real and sees what it's done for my life, she's more open to put herself on the camera and just, you know, you take us as we are, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the flaws. And I feel like that's what makes people amazing on YouTube, is when you see the true them, when you see the flaws and all, when you see them open up, when you see them cry, when you see them, you know, quirky and funny and silly, or whatever it is that they do. You know what I'm saying? Or shock treatment stuff, or whatever. I just feel like that just makes good TV. And so the whole world now is coming to YouTube. We're coming to YouTube for our entertainment. And we're choosing this because we can watch it at our own time. It's free. We can choose the creators. We can choose the content that we're attracted to. We can choose who it is that we want to see. And that is so exciting, that our world is coming to this, to where creators can tape in the comfort of their own home and blast it out into the world. And many people from all over the world can get to know us and can meet us through the computer, and to know our stories and to watch our content and have the creative outlet to do whatever we want to do within YouTube guidelines, obviously. But you get what I'm saying. I just wanted to come back here and just say, there are so many questions I get asked, but in a nutshell, that's my story, and that's why I'm here. And yes, I still love YouTube, and it doesn't matter where I live. I never tell where I live because of what I do on Patreon. I have to take my safety seriously. And it's bad enough that I put my real name, Ursula, out there, but I don't need to be blasting my address and everything else out there, because I want to do this to make everybody happy. But I don't want to do this because I want people to come to my house, or, you know, I've heard all those stories, or being stalked or any of that. I don't want any of that. Nobody wants any of that part. And nobody wants their family to be harassed if that's not what they want, you know, or that's not what they deserve. My family is private. They deserve to stay private. And so I just pray that everybody respects that, and that it doesn't matter where I live. I'm just a woman in the world that makes videos. That's it. And I share what I want to share when I want to share it. And that's it. And so I hope that everybody has the most amazing day ever. If you have any questions, of course, leave them down below. I found that fun. The last video, people were asking me questions in the comments, and I stayed on the computer right after I post this video. I will stay on the computer for a while, and I'll just answer questions. So that'll be fun. So that'll be our interaction. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below in the comments section. Ask me any question you want, except for where do I live, because That doesn't matter. I'm some woman in the world that makes videos, and that's all you need to worry about. If you like my content, then stay here, subscribe, push the bell button, because you know summer is coming, and you know it's about to get real, and you know it's about ready to be in the bikinis, in the pool, in the workout bikinis. Um, I tell you, I am the luckiest woman to be 48 years old and do what I get to do every day. People wouldn't believe it. I get to work out in bikinis. I get to swim, and I get to make videos, and I get to just enjoy my life without the stresses of the boss and the 9 to 5. I mean, it is a glorious life. If you've ever thought about doing YouTube, I invite you to do it if you think you can do it, because it is a fun life. You get to travel, you get to write off your expenses. You get to do so many things that you possibly would not get to do if you didn't have a career at home. It's just a fun life. I get to drop everything. When my daughter's coming on spring break in a couple weeks, I get to drop everything for her. I pre-tape a ton of videos before. I do all the work that it takes before, and then I drop everything and spend time with her. You know, I spend time with my boys, spend time with my sister, my husband. It's just actually an amazing life. And so, through all the bad that's happened in my life, I have now broke the generational curse of the alcoholism and the abuse and all of that. And I have created the most amazing life for me. So I invite you to just take a look at your life, and are you where you want to be? Are you happy? Are you doing what you want to do? And if you had a dream, and if you could do anything you want to do and get paid for it, jot that down in your mind right now. And who knows what the future holds? Maybe you'll have a way of doing that, and having the life that you love in the process. So have a beautiful day. I know these videos are long, but I love you so much for following me on my journey. And I know that some of you are probably going to say you don't want these talking videos, but I'll be back with everything. Workouts. I just wanted to do the part 2 so bad before it got too old. And today I am a lucky girl. I just get to wear pajamas. Satin pajamas. Have a beautiful day.